Hey everyone, so this is a little bit different than most of the stuff I do on my channel. Currently I am working to create this channel to be more of a video essay, long form content, me dribbling on about different topics type of situation, along with my animations, speed paints, and other such content related to that. So if you would like more of that, please let me know, share, subscribe, do all of that. Let me know that you guys are interested in something like this. But today's video is going to be a little different than what I was hoping to start my video essayist, or in this case, just like opinion video, career, whatever you want to call this genre of content. This is a little different than what I was planning to make my first different form video on. Now, as you guys know, the TikTok ban is now set to take effect in the United States, January 19th, 2025. Now, what does this mean for the country? Well, I don't like the implications of this. To be honest, I didn't really think this was going to happen. Of course, I should know by now, based on all the history I've researched, whenever someone says something's not going to happen, it inevitably does. But in our defense, they tried to ban this app a ton, many times since 2020. They just were on a rampage specifically about this one app. Like, girl, stop. And they went after this app specifically because they claimed, well, by they, I mean the United States government, they claimed that it was a security risk, that China had access to the data and Americans' data was at risk when, well, if you know anything about the United States and its data collection, you would know that, the data collection the United States does is fucking terrifying. Yeah, so I do not believe that this is about data security one bit. But yeah, there's a lot of reasons I'm upset about this. It was really a surprise to see that this was actually going to happen and this was actually going to come out. Again, as I said before, I did not think this was going to happen because they tried and failed so many times and it became a meme at some point, and then suddenly now it's real, and it's unfortunate that this is what I had to come to. Like, legit. America couldn't get its greedy little hands on one thing, and since it felt like it lost control, they just were like, we're gonna ban this. If you're not gonna sell this to us, we're gonna ban it because we want everything. God damn, can you please just let one thing not be ours for a minute? As an artist who used the platform since 2020, I guess technically, ever since then, it has really helped me grow an audience. In those 5 years, I grew about almost 4,500 followers on TikTok, pretty significant in comparison to Instagram and YouTube and all that. YouTube's also been really nice to me, which I'm thankful, YouTube. Thank you. If you hear me, YouTube, thank you. So yeah, TikTok has been very influential to me as an artist, but also as a content creator in general in the past 5 years. I started making pretty rudimentary videos, being like, hey, here's my art, and it's the worst looking chibis you've ever seen. And now I'm there, and I primarily make most of my income at the moment from TikTok. Actually, no, scratch that. I make all my income at the moment from TikTok. And as someone who makes TikTok, it really scares me to have this disappear. Now, I don't live in the United States. I used to, as you could tell from my accent. Woo, American. Boy, you didn't see that coming. Currently, I live in Germany, and I'm a content creator in Germany. And yeah, I'm not at risk of this ban really affecting me as much as other people on the platform. However, I am very afraid because I've made friends and contacts, and people genuinely don't know what to do about this. Some other artists I know are literally losing their livelihood right now because of the TikTok ban, and it scares me, and it makes me angry as somebody who is part of Gen Z, part of the generation, along with millennials, who are facing a horrific recession right now, and who are also facing large numbers of unemployment we've never seen before. And it's harder to find a job than it's ever been. And the days that your grandparents talk about where they could just go into McDonald's and get a job doesn't exist anymore. We have to work harder And especially if you're part of a minority community, you have to work 10 times fucking harder. And it is a horrific job market out there right now. And I, along with many others, have had trouble finding long-term work. I have some things that might be lining up for me, which is very relieving and very exciting for whatever might come. But for the time being, the last few months I've been getting by on commissions from TikTok, selling my art to people who want custom art of their pets or their D&D characters or of themselves, their friends, and doing this for people. I have had a countless number of experiences which is preparing me for the job market and working closer with clients. Like, for example, I applied to a job recently, and something they asked me is, do I know how to market and get American clients? And that's something I was able to do because of TikTok, and because I knew how to harness the platform to my advantage, and also just in general, be knowledgeable of how it works and the communities that play and how people socialize on it, especially from a cultural standpoint. So yeah, like TikTok has been influential for me and very important for me to be able to make any money, because right now I am in a situation where, like, I couldn't find work for a long time, and that's what got me through. So yeah, as someone who's a small content creator on TikTok, I am very concerned about this ban and what it means for me and other small creators. Some small creators I know, they can't even be on the platform anymore. But yeah, for me it's a bit different since I live in Germany. I will still have access to TikTok for the time being. I will still have access to the platform along with Instagram, YouTube. However, I met other creators on the platform who don't know where their next income source is going to come from. And that is very scary as small artists, as people who are just trying to make a living. Trust me, when I got into opening commissions and doing art for a living for a short period of time, I was very surprised that this is how things turned out. People always talked about how hard it was to get commissions and how hard it is to make ends meet as an artist, and that's not false. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't living it up. I was, doing what I needed to do. And I am still doing what I need to do in order to get by. And it is really concerning to know that this big community of people who are also in a situation that I am, and hopefully I'm getting out of soon, where, you don't always know what work is going to come your way, and you don't always know what opportunities are going to be available, because that's just life as a freelancer. And now imagine getting your whole network and platform being taken away. Like, that's really gonna suck. That's gonna be horrific for the creators who are losing their livelihood. And, I don't mean to be all like doom and gloom, but it is also disproportionately affecting Gen Z and Gen Z creators and Gen Zers who make their money from the platform. Since like the largest number of people who are influencers who make money are Gen Zers, largest number of people consuming the content are Gen Zers, it feels a little targeted, I feel like because of the many situations, and I know when they were making the TikTok ban, they weren't like, "Mwahaha, this is what's happening here, mwahaha." But since the job market is so bad, it is really unfortunate and very disgusting in a way that I can't fully describe, that now they're taking away a platform where a large amount of Gen Zers make their income. It really makes me mad because this is disproportionately affecting Gen Z, where we are already having a hard enough time in the job market, and we're already having a hard enough time in the workforce. And then, of course, we're told we're lazy, we're all the things, we've heard it with the millennials before. It seems like everyone likes to rag on the newer generations, and as someone who's witnessed the hate of Gen A, I can say Gen Z isn't much better. Let's be completely honest here. We're gonna turn into them, be like, all these children going around on their iPads. We're already doing it. However, it sucks because it's harder to get entry-level work nowadays. It's harder to climb up a ladder than it used to be. When no one wants to give you a chance, what do you do? And a lot of people, what they decided to do was use their creativity and join TikTok and, try to make a name for themselves on there, because that, honestly, in comparison to, other work and other situations, was the best choice for some people. It was definitely the best choice for me. And, my only choice of getting income for a while. And it just makes me really mad that the US government would ban this app when, Gen Zers are already facing a large unemployment situation right now. And apparently no one wants to work nowadays, but then you have all these Gen Zers fighting tooth and nail over an unpaid internship. I'm sorry. What else do you want me to say about it? It feels grossly targeted, but I know it's not. It just feels grossly targeted. And there's a lot of reasons why people think that TikTok and the government targeted TikTok. Yeah, I'm not going to talk all about that in this video. It's a different topic for a different day, because this video is more so for my feelings about it and about it happening. As I said before, I'm lucky that I am in Germany and I still have access to this platform, which has given me so much, but a lot of my clients are American, which sucks because I'm going to lose contact with a lot of people who have done amazing things for me. TikTok's going to be a completely different landscape. I'm afraid that this is the thing that's going to sink the app. And that scares me as someone who had such a big following on it. And the thing is, I knew people who had really big followings on Twitter. I knew people who had hundreds of thousands of followers on Twitter. And the day Twitter died, when Elon bought it, they're like, well, there goes all that hard work. And it means nothing at the end. And that's okay. At least that's what the people who I've talked to told me. But it just really sucks, because I feel like the social media landscape in the United States is getting ever more fascist as we go. And I'm also afraid because of what Zuckerberg announced about how they're getting rid of fact checkers on Instagram, which makes, minorities more at risk on those platforms. I can't tell you how many death threats I've gotten throughout my few years, on various social media platforms, just for existing as a transgender person. And it terrifies me to think that a kid somewhere, a trans kid somewhere, is going to be clocked, and some hateful older person is going to tell them to kill themselves, and they might. It scares me, because this is just another example of how fascism in America is growing, and another example of why I left and why I'm not going back. And it sucks, and I have the privilege to be able to be here, but I'm still concerned about my home country, and I'm still concerned about my family who live there. And anyways, this turned into a conversation which I wasn't expecting to go into. That's classic Aspen for you. Anyways, so I feel like this whole TikTok situation is just very unfortunate all around, not to mention, the many political movements this is going to silence. We know about what's happening because of TikTok and Instagram Reels. More so TikTok. And I feel like, that kind of power cannot be ignored. And that kind of information spreading platform cannot be ignored. We all treat it like it's just some silly little app. And it's not just some silly little app where you watch cat videos. It's an app that had true potential and power. Hopefully it still does. I'm really hoping this doesn't end the platform. But we gotta understand that this has such a big effect, even besides what I have mentioned so far in this video, which are content creators and Gen Zers in the West. This has so many more impacts that I can't even begin to cover in this video, because some of it's not my place and some of it's just too much. So I'm just going over what is personally affecting me at the moment and what my personal feelings about it are. Yeah, this was my little rant for a while. I hope you enjoyed hearing me talk for 15 minutes or however long this video is now. If you would like to check me out on other platforms or sign up to my newsletter, which fun fact, newsletters are super important when stuff like this happens, because that way you could keep track of your community, not worry about losing your community, and, still have a following of people who could follow you to other platforms if God forbid this happens again. So anyways, I have a newsletter in the description, and I also have links to my other social medias if you're interested in seeing them. I also currently have a commission sale going on for Valentine's Day, which includes animation commissions, which it's my first time doing, so I hope you guys like them. I'm doing stickers for like WhatsApp, Discord, all of that. Yeah, get them while you can. And also I have a sale on many of my other commissions, including semi-realism and my pet commissions, and also like my D&D commissions, which people really like. So if you're interested, please check them out, and you can feel free to send me a DM on Instagram or TikTok, or if you don't have that, just comment down below and we can talk. That would be great. Anyways, so yeah, have a great day.